people think that there's a secret to creating content. Like you touched on how easy it is to create the content, to edit the content. That was one of my questions is like for people who think that there's a secret to creating content as a busy professional, as a mom with two kids, what's the secret?
Probably just doing it. I mean, I don't think there is a secret. I think a lot of times individuals will make the point of like, oh, it's easier for you to post stuff because you know it's going to do well because you have so many followers. I started off with 0 followers just like anybody else. I mean, the biggest thing is really consistency. And consistency doesn't mean you have to post like 4 or 5 times a week. I've worked with Elijah before when we had our the other community, and the biggest thing is just like posting a certain amount of times a week would be incredibly helpful. And that's kind of the biggest thing in terms of what your expertise is. I think one of the biggest things that I think maybe individuals will think of as a secret is that it's never been my goal to like reach every person. Sometimes individuals think that generalized work and stuff will be more helpful, but I actually think the reason why my platform grew so, I don't know if it's quickly. I think I've been on social media since before I had the big one. He's 6. I call the boys the big one and the little one. I get their names wrong, but I never get like what order they're in. So I had the big one. He's 6. I've been on social media since I had the big one. So like for like 6 years. But I think one of the things that helps me grow is I always state that I do specialize in Black health and well-being. And there weren't as many people, especially when I started out, that were okay with stating that. Like they would say BIPOC or they wanted to be general because they wanted to reach everyone. But as a psychologist, my goal is not to reach everyone. Black people are going to be the population that I'm going to center when it comes to everything, when it comes to my research, when it comes to my podcast, when it comes to my work. So I think if I had to say anything in terms of a secret is stop trying to reach everyone. If you're trying to think of where to start in terms of resources, if you're in medicine or pharmacy and stuff like that, a lot of times I'll tell people to start with what are some of the most common questions you get and make a video off of that. Like a big thing I got was about finding a therapist. So I made a video about finding a therapist and I had a guide that went alongside that, right? Like people ask me that all the time. I got asked a lot about what's the impact of racism on mental health. So I made a post about that. The goal is not to reach everyone because when you reach everyone, you kind of serve no one, in my opinion. So I would say that's one of the biggest things to be consistent with that. And when I'm creating content, I always know before I create the video what I want individuals to leave with. If I want them to leave with a resource, such as like a page to follow, if I want them to leave with information about an event that I'm doing, if I want them to leave with some kind of education about something, I kind of start there. I write that down and then I know the video is done when I've done that, right? Because some people are like, oh, I tend to go on and on. The only reason why I feel like you would do that is if you didn't reach your goal of what you wanted the video to be about. And that's possible because you didn't write down what the goal was in the first place. So when it comes to length of things, at the end of the day, if the goal is I want them to leave with knowing 3 coping skills, give them the 3 coping skills and the video was done. Because I will say
Mhm.
one of the biggest mistakes that I used to make is I would record one video, but in my opinion, when I would review them, it would be like 3 or 4 points in that video and people are going to lose track. So I will also previously put way too much in a video. So I would say I don't typically, unless like it's just a random post, I don't typically hit record without knowing exactly what I want you to leave with in terms of the video. Is it education? Because there's a bunch of different, I think my stuff is like edutainment, right? So is it education? Is it a resource? Am I letting you know I'm going to be at a certain site? Am I reaching out because I need like coalition building? I would not start a video without writing down exactly what I want to cover.
To watch the full combo, where Dr. Raquel breaks down how she lands speaking gigs, brand deals, and big opportunities, join Healthfluencer Hub, link below.